As temperatures dip below zero, it's timely to talk about the cold busters at Share the Warmth, a Toronto-based nonprofit charity that purchases heat for low-income families. Share the Warmth is the first to use the power of the internet to deliver a charitable service. Joining us with a closer look is Edward Gale, Executive Director of Share the Warmth. Hello there, Edward. So tell us, how long has Share the Warmth been around?
Share the Warmth began in October 1995. It was an initiative begun by Osgoode Hall Law Students who had got together and decided that they wanted to find an innovative way to sort of deal with poverty, a needs-based way, and we focused on energy assistance.
And the internet is part of your charity. How do you use the internet to get the word out?
What we found is that poverty often means limited choices. Families often go through an enormous sort of angst-ridden spectrum of emotions trying to figure out what to do with the limited resources that they have. We felt that the internet would allow us to get just-in-time sort of response to the whole issue of energy assistance needs. What we do is we train a series of social service agencies in our service area, and our service area is quite large. So the internet became the sort of the most obvious tool to use in that regard. And we train them to go through a whole administrative process with the applicant, make sure they have a supporting documentation for their application form. And once that's filled out, they log on to our server. They transfer the information from the application form right onto the screen. And on the on-screen application are formulas embedded into the application. When they press submit, it comes back with a response and tells exactly how much that applicant will receive in energy assistance, and it uploads that information directly to the utility companies that are part of the program. So it's 24 hours, 7 days a week, just-in-time information, and it's a pretty strong tool for an immediate response to a pretty pressing problem in the winter.
And it's more from the administration perspective, isn't it? It's not like you're expecting the people who are applying for assistance to get on their $2,000 laptop at home and apply, right?
Absolutely. We're looking at it more from the social service agencies. We partner with utility companies and we partner with social service agencies. Our role is really to leverage the strength of these agencies and to encourage them to service their clients with a new tool, energy assistance. And by having them use the internet to get these immediate responses, it also connects them. So we basically have about 50 to 60 agencies connected from Toronto all the way to Ottawa Carleton and as far north as Simcoe County.
Interesting. Now, you've picked a very specific niche to focus on. It's rare for me to hear of a charity that's focused so exactly on one service. Why?
I think a couple of reasons. One, basically energy is a necessity of life. Everybody uses it. Everybody uses electricity at the very least, and often electricity, gas, or oil. And what we found was that a little known but disturbing fact is that utility costs are the second leading economic cause of homelessness. People pay their rent, usually exhausting most of their financial resources, and then struggle to pay their utility costs over a period of time. We felt that if we could, in a just-in-time way, help them get through the coldest parts of the winter, December, January, February, maybe early March, then we could keep them in their homes. And it would be a homeless prevention exercise that would really address the needs rather than throwing money at the problem.
And Share the Warmth has just expanded, I understand?
Absolutely. We have we've been working with Toronto Hydro and Enbridge Consumers Gas from 1995 forward, and this year Enbridge decided to roll the program out across its entire franchise. So the program will be operating in Toronto, in Niagara Falls, in Peel region, Durham region, York region, Simcoe County, Peterborough County, and Ottawa Carleton region and surrounding areas.
Now, how did you personally get involved?
1995, I was 2 weeks into law school, a first-year student. Sat in Torts class and thought, as much as a law student we're sort of directed to help people, usually when they're already in crisis, if we could find a way to keep people sort of from preventing crisis, sort of intervening early. And I think the Harris cuts that came down in '95 had a lot to do with mobilizing a great deal of the students that were involved. At the time, welfare was cut by 22%, and particularly second-tier women's shelters were cut by about 22%. And a lot of the law students felt that where there are women in crisis, there were children in crisis. And if we could find a way to intervene and keep women in their homes or keep them in a circumstance where at least they could be heated in the winter, then we take care of a significant part of their necessary things, food being another, shelter being another, and energy being a crucial component. So we focused on one area, tried to become experts in that area, tried to really build awareness around that area, and we found some extraordinary information about the scope of the problem and the type of need that's out there.
Do you think by focusing on one specific need, it allows people who need help to maintain a sense of dignity as well?
Absolutely. I think from day one, we've looked at this as sort of a throwback. I know that we're using the internet, and that would seem quite a progressive or advanced approach, but we've often said that we've likened our program to the wood-bearing pioneers of old, sharing fuel with their less fortunate neighbors. In days gone by, if you wanted to help a household, you walk by their house, you see the smokestack isn't operating, you know that they're having problems, it's cold out. So you drop some fuel at the back door and you walk away. Or if the farm had a poor yield, you drop some food at the back and you leave. And families and neighbors helped each other. And this is a program that really does the same type of thing, but it harnesses the tools of the internet, because we're so spread out and it's very difficult to reach people, and Canada's just such a very, very large place.
Okay, thank you very much for coming in today, Edward.
My pleasure. If I could only add one thing, we really would like to get as much support as possible around the issue, and if anybody would like to make a donation, I'd like to be able to let them know how they could. Is that possible?
Do you have a telephone number?
Absolutely. You can call 1-900-565-WARM, 1-900-565-9276, and make a donation of $15, $30, or $45. Or you can log on to our website at www.sharethewarmth.org, all one word, and make a secure donation online. Or look in your hydro or your consumer's gas bill.
Sharethewarmth.org.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Time for a quick break on Money Day, but stay with us. There's much more ahead right here on Cable Pulse 24.
Here's the deal. There's a bulge in the anaconda.